just sort of an impromptu video. I've got a new pad today. It's actually not a new pad, but it's new for me. It's the Xymox 12-inch reserve core pad with the snare beads, of course. My old college roommate traded me this for a large Vic Firth gray rubber thick pad that bounces very well, that is no longer in production. So we made an even swap. I used to have a Xymox, and I sold it to one of my students in Tennessee, and I have regretted that. So I was in search for a Xymox, and I remembered that my old college roommate had one, and we struck a deal. So the Xymox, very orange base. He says it's for Auburn University, where we actually attended and graduated from a long time ago. So this is my Auburn pad. It needs to have a blue head, but I'll work on that later as soon as Xymox is back up and running after the COVID virus has struck a little bit. They're out in California. But anyway, I missed my Xymox. Very responsive pad, very articulate, and a very solid metal base, which a lot of pads are not, companies are not using solid metal bases. They're either a man-made material or some type of wood, and usually that ends up, especially if you drop it, denting and chipping and everything. I don't think these will, but I'm going to take care of this. So this has the white rim, the white head with the laminate. It has the rubber base, which I guess you could turn over and actually play on, but I'm not going to do that because I like this surface so much. And this model has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lugs, which you can replace. You can replace the rim, you can replace the head. I'll probably replace the head and maybe the rim whenever Xymox gets up and running again. But anyway, I'll play a little bit on this. There are several other videos because my YouTube channel has probably up to around 1,500 or 2,000 videos of me playing on a practice pad, and this is one of them. So now, this is a Xymox 12-inch. I used to have a 14-inch, but I think I'm going to like this one because it fits in a backpack. You're going out to the schools to work with percussion students. You can just stick it in the backpack and go. You're not having to lug all this. Because a lot of times I'm bringing a trumpet, a trombone, a flute, and then a practice pad. That gets a little cumbersome, so I think this is going to work out just good. One note of the rim, all of the Xymox pads, they have a little divot in both sides so that you can actually put your sticks at rest. Okay, so you put your sticks to bed at night, put them there instead of sticking them off somewhere. So anyway, this is the Xymox 12-inch head, 12-inch pad, and there's been so many reviews on the internet about the Xymox. You know that the snare sound comes from the BBs that are located underneath this panel, which you can take off with a regular drum key. I actually read somewhere if you take out several of the BBs, it's more responsive. So I've already done that because when I played on it, when I got it home, I was not hearing much of a snare sound. I was hearing slightly, but when I took out, I think I took out 7 or 8 of those. If you take out 7 or 8, place them to the side and put this back on, it lets the BBs breathe a little bit, and they're knocking around and hitting each other more, and you hear more of the snare sound. I don't know if you're going to hear that on the video. But what I'm doing is putting this smaller head or smaller pad on top of the off-world shuttle pad and on top of the off-world V3 pad. It gets a different sound. If you put it on top of the off-world, it gets this type of sound, sort of muffled. All right, not hearing much snare response. So I tried this. I put the shuttle pad on top of the off-world V3 and then we put this Xymox on top of the shuttle pad. Now in person I'm hearing more snare response. Maybe not on the video, I'm not sure. So here's a little exercise I came up with. It's called the Mission Impossible exercise. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And I've included several rudiments, so we've got, all right, that's the basic premise for the exercise. So you do that twice. And the second time through, we're going to put 2/16 and an eighth in the place of dut-dut. So we've got, instead of, we're going to do, okay, a flam tap. And then, the third time through, we're going to play an eighth and 2/16 twice. So we got, and then just straight flam taps on the fourth time through. All right, so the entire exercise would be played like so. Okay, so that's the Xymox 12-inch pad. There have been so many reviews. It's not really a review. It's a nice pad. If you can get one. From what I'm reading on the internet, most people are waiting at least a year. I waited a total of 1 day because I knew someone who had one that was in pristine condition. The other one that I got, I actually did not get from the company. I was in Nashville when we lived in Nashville. I taught in Nashville, and we had we went to a drum clinic. The drummer for Rascal Flatts, who also played in the Velvet Knights back in the 90s, I think. I think he played tenors. Anyway, so at his drum clinic, I won the big prize, which was an entry-level Ludwig snare drum. Well, I didn't want that, didn't need that. So someone on the internet had two 14-inch Xymox pads, brand new, and they were selling them for some reason. So we went back and forth, and I traded the brand new Ludwig snare drum, which I didn't need, for the 14-inch Xymox Reserve Core snare pad. So I've never actually dealt with the Xymox company. I'm in Rancho Cucamonga, California, I believe. So I really haven't experienced that. I've gotten one through a trade on the internet, and I got this one from my old college roommate. So I did order a new head for the other one. So I have dealt with the company on that level, and you know, it got here in about 2 weeks from the West Coast to the East Coast. So anyway, so that's my new pad. I think I'm up to 10 now. Next pad is going to be either the Off-World Biosphere with the snare sound, the snare puck, or the new Invader Hybrid, which is just actually a larger Biosphere without the fancy stuff on it. So anyway, keep on drumming. Stay tuned for more practice pads. Keep on drumming.